Okay, thank you. We're going to try to stay on schedule here a little bit. So, Main Avenue, Plaza and Splash Park.
I bet you're going to do World.
No, I think yours.
And Danny, what's your timetable? When do you have to scoot?
In about 20 minutes.
In about 20 minutes, okay. So, I don't have Paul here today. I do have Terry here today, by golly. And so what I wanted to do was to just talk about our current situation. What do we got here? Okay. Our current situation is we're running TV ads. It's an excellent commercial. My only critique to that is that at the very end of that commercial, they don't really reiterate where you go to get the information. It says twinfallsrotary.org at the bottom. But if there's any way that we can add to that commercial so that they verbalize that, I don't know who I need to talk to get that done. Who? April?
April.
Okay. We've got our brick sales started. We've gone over the $6,000 in gross revenue for that so far. We generated some revenue from our golf tournament. We learned a lot in that process. $800, okay. Obviously, we've got a lot of good information that Kevin's keeping us current on the website and also on Facebook. How many of you know that we have a Twin Falls Rotary Facebook site? Yeah. Okay, just a few. Okay, so. And then obviously our unofficial, official partner over here with the Twin Falls Community Foundation. Stop me here if you're more current on information, okay? So the Inman Estate is $55,000. Seagraves Foundation, $7,000. First Federal Bank, around $3,000. Urban Renewal, is that still a question mark?
First Federal we did not get.
Okay.
Urban Renewal, it's just when it happens, they'll have to approve it still.
Okay, so First Federal right now is not in the mix.
We're applying again this week.
Okay.
Is there an Idaho Power grant that's out there too?
There's what?
Idaho Power grant?
Not on this.
Okay, I'm just
Could be.
asking, is there a
Yeah.
grant that we can apply for through
Yeah, I
Idaho
think
Power?
there
I
is.
think there is.
I'll talk about that when he gets in.
The Seagraves,
We applied for that, got
Foundation.
turned down.
we got turned down for that.
Yep.
Yow.
What did they say? What, it was not their qualifications or what?
They said that they had too many,
Good project.
that was pretty close.
They had a
That's
lot
what they
more
said.
asks than they had money for.
A lot more. They've typically had 3 to 5 applications a year. This year they had about 20.
Wow, great.
So this is our new number.
And dropped it off.
This is our new,
Actually, the new number, I just did one.
Yeah.
We still got to raise about 136,000.
136?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so you know, I've applied, I'll apply again this week for the First Federal for another 3,000. Seagraves, they're not going to come around until next year, and they've turned us down this year, but I have about 3 other places that I'm going to apply for grants on.
Okay.
And hopefully we'll be able to generate enough to take care of that Seagraves and a little bit more.
Okay. Is there any other fundraising that your organization has brainstormed about or have talked about, or your primary function will be to get the grants? Okay.
If we can get the grants, we're going to be happy.
The bricks will go when you start putting them in.
Yeah.
That's when people will say, yeah, I do want, yeah, the brick sales. That'll start to go. There is a new source this year, and I don't know how big it's going to be. So far, it's $10. But that's the sesquicentennial of the territory, the territory sesquicentennial. And that's a license plate deal, and see, you don't even know about it. Nobody has the slightest idea because they really haven't pushed it. But you can buy a sesquicentennial territorial license plate. I bought one this year.
Really?
And I got it in about 60 days after they started on sale, and I'm number 47. So that tells you how popular it is. And but there is $10 out of each one of those comes back into the county of its origin, and that's to be used as for a project or whatever within that county. I don't even think there's a committee in Twin Falls County. But if it isn't this project, maybe there's another project that we could push for, but I don't know how big it's going to get.
How many
years is a sesquicentennial.
I know.
150.
150 years.
that what it is?
I knew it
Spell
was years,
that.
but I didn't know it was 150. That's kind of cool.
1863 is when we became a territory.
So it's next year officially.
And I felt a need to do that because my family is one of the families that's been here longer than 150 years.
Wow.
Became a state in 1890, right?
The state in 1890.
Bless you. On the, this brings up what made me think about it. On our Death by Chocolate funds, because we're going to be doing the poster soon, did the board vote that half of it is going to the brick sales? What did we come up with?
That's what I heard last. I wasn't at that meeting, but that's what I've heard.
Not to the brick sales, but to the.
To the splash park.
Splash park.
Oh, yeah, I mean that thing. So the poster should say, all proceeds go to local charities and local projects, or do we specifically name the main park avenue, whatever it's, I don't know what the title is. What is the title?
I think we should mention the park. Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
main avenues? Okay.
Can I say something there?
Yeah.
There is another Main Avenue Plaza, and so the foundation has taken on a different name so that they don't get mixed up.
Okay, give me the right
It's
name.
called Downtown Common. That's what it's going to be called.
Ours is called Downtown Common?
Downtown Common is what we're referring to it as. It'll still be
Splash
known as,
Park?
they didn't want to use the word splash park, and I'll tell you why. When I tried to apply for a couple of grants, when they found out there was a splash park, they didn't want to have anything to do with us.
Because of the liability?
No, because they thought it was for fun. No, serious.
There's no
That's what
fun
they said.
attached to this.
They said it was some type of a, they want to do a physical structure and do what they need to do, but they're really not interested in doing entertainment. How's that for a good word?
Entertainment.
So
Well, park
we
here.
steered away from it.
taking a serious blow.
Isn't it ever?
Isn't it? I was just appalled. to be
So do
honest.
they need to change the commercials?
No, you can just keep using that.
Do we-
Just, you
Can
know.
I still use it on the?
Yeah,
oh,
yeah, you can keep using it, because that's what people have known it as, but when we're doing it, we're referring to that.
Well, when I went and delivered dictionaries last week, I asked the kids how many of them heard of the splash park. 'Cause,
Yeah.
you know, I went to what road. How many of you heard? And at least 90% of them
That's
knew
great.
about
That's
that.
why we don't want to change it.
So I was going
But
to
if I'm
comment on
going to
that.
apply for a grant for somebody in Boise, I'll probably use downtown
The
Common.
commercial is working.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Okay, so we did the
Interesting.
half, okay.
Well,
We could also sell bricks at Death by Chocolate. We could have a table
Well,
there.
that's what I was thinking too.
And also, Kyle, I told him to put in the Friday facts each week with a link to the website and the form. And also, I was inquiring about business after hours. I was there in November or October, I can't remember, where they were selling your little cow pie things, Wiley, at Canyon Crest, but we have to get permission from the business. So I forget who the business is in December, but I was thinking perhaps if any Rotarians wanted to have that set up, because to me, that's our target market. I think those are the people, the chamber members and things like that, that have businesses that, you know, would want to buy and have, you know, $100 to buy it.
we have permission to do that in December.
We have to
Right,
get
right.
permission, you do?
We already do.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So are you guys on
Wells
top of who's
Fargo?
gonna do it and?
Wells Fargo.
They normally do it in December.
No, they do November, but
Oh.
they quit doing it.
Yeah.
Did they?
So
This is
now
the
it's-
chamber, and I forget the date, but we already have approval to put a table up, and
Okay.
it's at the
good.
Turf Club,
Oh,
ironically.
yeah, it's at the church.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's, the one in November, however, might be a good one, because I think it's Magic Valley Bank. I'm not
Well, no, actually,
positive.
business after hours this month, I think, is
Is-
at Purity Spa.
That's right.
Oh,
Right,
And
yeah.
is it a week early because of Thanksgiving, or
I
are we
don't
guys
remember.
still
It's
the normal
always
time? 'Cause it's,
Wouldn't it be the
The
last
fourth.
Thursday of the month?
It's
no,
the
but it's
4th.
in
Yeah,
November.
we're getting a little sidetracked here.
okay, sorry.
I need to work with Danny, because he's got to go here in a little bit. This actually came up when Danny was still on the board, and Danny and I have had some further discussions, and we got some feedback from Melinda as well. And we were just brainstorming on some ideas about a fundraiser event, and just our little entity agreed that there were too many things going on here at year end between the election and the holidays, and it was going to be too late to try to schedule anything if we wanted to do an event anyways. That we were talking about maybe doing something more in the spring, and maybe to do something even downtown at the ballroom. And the idea would be that Danny would be our focal point of entertainment, and then we have to carry it further from there, obviously, about what this would look like if we had this event. So first off, is there interest in doing a major event like this?
For the splash park.
This is for the splash park? Yes. Yeah. So this would be primarily to promote brick sales, but we also need to, obviously, we've got some uncertainty about some major donors. To me, there has to be a twofold approach. So one would be brick sales, one would be to attract larger donors. And part of that would be too, and I may be naive regarding this, but the people that are going to build this, the contractors, I would think that we need to get them involved as well, whether it be that they have some premium off of their bid for the work they're going to do, for some recognition on the site with the permanency of Rotary Club being recognized and other major donors, those kinds of things, to attract that family of people that might be interested in this event as well.
So would it be like a dinner entertainment thing, or what is it?
Well, again, we're here today to talk about how we might do this. How do we implement something like this, and what are the ideas that we would use to do it? So we're talking about an evening event as a possibility. And to me, this would be kind of like what they do with the Festival of Trees, or some of the other events that I've seen. I've never attended an event at the ballroom, I'm ashamed to say, but to do something maybe even around a dinner. I mean, you could go as far as a black tie event. You can do something that would be more open on a weekend day. I'm just kind of throwing it out there for ideas for everybody.
You can do a Jill dunk tank.
Yeah, well,
I'll join you in the dunk tank.
Who brought you? No, I'm kidding.
but we need time to put this together, so the idea was early spring.
I would try to do it in February or March.
You would? Okay.
The only reason I say that is we're going to have a big push on trying to get as many grants in, get this funded as much as we possibly can.
Sure.
I would love to see this started in April or May.
Because you have to get it done for Twin Falls tonight?
What's that?
Do you have a timeline because of Twin Falls tonight, or are they going to be wiped out this year?
Well, that's why we want to have it
Yeah.
done. If we can get started in March or April in that area, that time frame, we can have it open by midsummer. That's what the schedule's planned for.
Oh, because last thing I heard was end of summer. It wouldn't start until...
Mid to end summer.
Okay.
But downtown is probably not going to make it this year, at least not
What,
totally.
the Twin Falls tonight?
Yeah, not
Have
totally.
you told those people yet?
They haven't asked me.
I think you should tell them.
Okay.
Okay. Only because I know the person on the committee, and they plan pretty far in advance, so.
They do.
They do.
I don't even know
another
who to
place on
contact.
You know, I
I
bet
would
you could,
contact Robin Dover.
Yeah,
I bet
I
the
wouldn't know who to contact.
Robin.
Robin Dover.
Elevation Building,
That
or
hands-on.
council building could substitute for a season.
They have a nice little open
They
area
have-
too.
They have a stage
They'd have
and
to be
everything.
prepared to move it, yeah, I
Yeah.
know about it. I would say, I would move it to
Maybe
March, the
easily.
fundraising event, just because we have Death by Chocolate January 31st.
Oh, that's
So I don't
true.
know if you'd want to go from one to
Yeah.
the next month, you know.
Danny, what's your schedule like? Can you do something in March?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How, just so people know, I know I'm aware of it because I'm on the foundation board, but an event like this could make up to how much money would you say? I mean, how much have we
Well-
made at the foundation events that you've done?
We average at our, our big fundraiser that we do $30,000. And when we did Tuesdays with Maury, we netted $5,500. It's kind of, it's almost a nebulous figure because there is no limit. I mean, you got to think big sometimes, and I think that's been one of our problems around the area is that we just have never thought in terms of raising $100,000 at an event, but it's doable. Boys and Girls Club does it every year with their,
And I was thinking something like that, where we sold tables to, you know, Chobani, say you need to pay for a table and get your people there, and then be prepared to buy some bricks too.
and we need to give them, all of the corporations that buy tables, we need to give them really good recognition. Hang their banner up in the ballroom or wherever it is we're gonna have the event, because they love that kind of recognition.
What about bringing in, if you emceed, if we brought in some, you know, someone big, like a big headliner, like someone, like whether it's music, whether it's comedy, whether it's something, where people would go, and maybe, you know, even have it at the CSI Fine Arts, you know, something big.
I think it should be big. Yeah.
Big, and then a company maybe, First Federal or someone, maybe would sponsor the headliner. So we don't pay for that, because I know it can be a lot of money, but sometimes it can be the equivalent of something, but something
I'm worried
big.
about parking at the ballroom. If we're gonna have something big, I don't know if we can have it at the ballroom.
That could be Canyon Crest. I mean, what's bigger as far as space?
Well, I
And
mean,
get
it's
a company
just
to sponsor the cost of the, you know, renting the facility too. I mean, you can do those kind of things. But I
yeah,
just don't know, I mean, does March give us time to do this?
I don't know.
'Cause if we're gonna go big, it's a lot
If
of
that's,
work.
I mean, that's just an idea, you guys, you know, you can do just a dinner thing too, but still have some kind of entertainment, I don't know. That was just a thought.
Well, would you do donations for silent auctions? I mean, those kinds of things to raise funds as well?
That's what
That
the Boys
only
and Girls
raises
Club
us
does.
about, how much did they raise for the donations of Boys and Girls? Where did they get the bulk of their 100,000, Danny, for Boys and Girls?
From the auction,
They make almost
A little-
100,000 on that, on the auction?
a little bit from the golf tournament, most of it from the auction.
What about the dinner?
That's where they have the auction.
Well, it's all,
Oh, you're
it's
saying
all
outside
inclusive.
from that, okay.
They make a lot of money right at the end of that auction, don't they, where they're going around saying who's gonna give, you know, who, kind of make it mandatory that you give something.
They pressure you?
Yeah. In a nice way.
Okay.
Lighthouse Christian does a good job of that every year too. I've been to one of their events.
Oh, they have a
That's-
huge facility.
And they give several chances for people to go back and put their bid in, and people swarm over to the tables, and whether it be Boise State tickets or whether it be a painting or
See, all
whatever it
that
may
is
be.
awfully work intensive.
Yeah.
I mean, a ton of it. So is there something we can do, you know, where it's entertainment and people just pay to go to, I mean, just say, we need to have, Chobani, we need you to buy a couple tables. And then this is what a table costs, this is what it's going for. Get your people to the event, they'll have an opportunity to buy bricks. And just, you know, kind of keep it simple.
Doesn't Dick Foster have connections, doesn't he bring in entertainment acts to Vegas? Isn't there someone maybe
He
you
might.
could bring in?
He does.
Isn't Daddy working?
Yeah, what's with,
Are you, is your band?
we have our entertainment right here, do we not?
Yes.
Yeah.
My band, just so you know, and I can use as few as 3 pieces. But my band, I just did a thing with them in San Francisco. They're 500 apiece.
That's cheap.
So I just used 3. I used my keyboard player, drummer, and my sax player, and it was a good sound.
So if you were gonna do it up big for a major event,
Then we bring
how many people would you have then?
7 pieces.
7 people, okay.
So that'd be 3,500?
In the grand scheme of what we want to attract in the way of revenue, I mean, $3,500 is $3,500, but it's not that big versus what we might be able to generate. I mean, this would be our focal event by far. And we want it to be major, we want it to be highly visible. We want to get as much participation as we can from the community.
I think it would be fun to highlight, you know, during the course of the show, some Rotarians who are capable of doing some performing arts things in front of an audience.
Do we have some of those?
I don't want to mention any names, Jill Scheme.
What did you say?
What does she
I
do?
want you to perform.
What?
You
I'm
spell
not a big,
headliner?
I'm not a
Yeah.
big draw. I mean, I think, I don't know, I was just thinking, no, I'm not a draw.
It's not a matter of a big draw. I think it would be, the draw would be Rotarians with talent. And we have some.
That could be a program.
Pack the Chills is well known in the valley anyways,
Oh.
doing radio,
So well known.
yes,
Um,
should draw.
And we can,
We got Chris
and I would
Knowles.
like to feature a couple of our scholarship winners.
Yeah?
They're extremely talented people.
So to me, it wouldn't just be music by Danny Marone and his band, it would be entertainment beyond that. I mean, it would be a program.
Yeah, and it all depends on how much that you want to try to do in one evening. Like Wiley said, a lot of this is extremely labor intensive, there's no doubt about it.
right. And we're just gonna get over an extremely labor intensive event in January, so.
Does Cactus Pete still set up those casino nights where they do 4 or 5 blackjack tables and a crap table and you gamble? The thing is, it's a fundraiser. So you're gambling with the chips that they provide, and they send dealers up and.
Yeah, Optimus used to do that.
I think they do, yeah.
I don't think they do. I don't think Optimus does it anymore, but
But I think that Cactus would
They
do
did it
that.
last year.
Optimus
Do they?
does
Last year.
do they still do it?
How much
lost
money do
wages
they make?
tonight.
Lost wages, yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
Did last year at Canyon Crest.
Oh, they did it at Canyon Crest.
Ton of people.
But the thing is, you know, I think you have to decide how many things you want to try to do in one night, or else it gets real convoluted and real, it's extremely labor intensive. I mean, this is going to require some work.
Yeah, that's been a problem of ours. Somebody like Jennifer mentions a good idea, and then we pile a bunch of stuff on it. Instead of just going after a good idea.
Well, now
And then
listen,
people get overwhelmed and say, well, hell with it.
think of this. The Rotary Club presents the Danny Marone Show. Who in the hell wouldn't come? Everybody would say, my God, is Danny back doing it again? Let's go.
Yeah.
I agree.
Because everybody's got great memories
Yeah, I agree.
of what Danny did over the years with his band. And
Let's keep our costs down. Sell tables, sell bricks, period.
yeah,
Yeah.
and go ahead and I think Danny bringing the town, the kids in and stuff, you know, and your poster can say featuring such and such and all that kind of stuff. I think people would come to that.
Yeah, I do too.
I think, you know, the main thing, I've been involved with raising money for various efforts for the last 40 years. And everybody has a lot of great ideas until it gets to the final idea. And that's putting rear ends in seats.
That's right.
And that's where you have to have a committee or, you know,
Right.
all of the Rotary actually to pledge that they'll fill up a table. And when you go to First Federal or Middlecoff or whoever it might be, it shouldn't be that difficult to get them to go for at least one table, and some go for more.
I can tell you what though, when I was out literally cold calling for the golf tournament,
Yeah.
part of it had to do with the time of year and those kinds of things, but when I met with Middlecoff Ford, they said, you're the 4th person I've seen this week.
right.
Oh,
And
yeah.
many other organizations that I had approached, they're always getting.
Oh, yeah,
approached.
they're always getting hammered. But the thing
Yeah.
of it is, you've got, nobody else is saying buy a table to come to the Danny Marone
You're
Show.
absolutely right.
Or else you just sell, you know, you just sell tickets. You know, if
Well,
if
that's
it's right,
right.
just sell tickets, because, I mean, no offense, Danny, you know, but I didn't know who Danny was, honestly. I mean, I was from out east, and you have some Chobani people from Indiana. I mean,
East
you
Coast
don't,
people.
huh? Danny goes, I think, yeah, that was the only state I didn't play was Massachusetts. So anyway, but, you know, I'm just saying that if you go, so a lot of people from Chobani right now, maybe are from Indiana or out of state, they might not know, and they might be like, who? Why are we gonna buy a table for that? No offense, I think maybe we should do it as ticket sales, and just push ticket sales.
What if you had a couple of designated,
Yeah,
like,
you could do
really
both.
nice
If people
tables?
wanted a table,
And then
right?
you could do
I-
tickets on the
You
outside?
do both.
I think we're
Yeah.
way overthinking this. Chobani would buy a table because it's Rotary, it's local, and you're
That's right.
supporting something.
Right.
That's
It's
right.
good, it doesn't make any difference whether some guy from Indiana ever heard of me before. I think we're,
Their foundation's giving $50,000, but Danny's saying it's exactly right. They would support it.
And you have, beyond your entertainment experience and exposure, all of the wonderful things that you've done for the community. And there's a lot of people out there that know that you do good things. And those people, I think, will clamor to this event as well and participate, whether it be to buy a ticket or buy a table. And
yeah, the high school kids we work with now, they don't have a clue who I was. They know is I'm the old white-headed guy that gives away money.
Santa Claus.
That's enough to get them there too.
So it'd be like a dinner entertainment thing, so you would put, you would sell tickets, they'd have dinner and entertainment?
I would think so. Yeah.
And special tables
Yeah.
could be in the front
Right. Yeah.
that we could sell to the bigger
Yeah.
places.
Yeah.
They could reward their employees by saying,
You get to come.
you get to go.
And those need to be done early.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we need to get started on this very quickly.
And there is a way, and I know how to do it and do it very well, of incorporating those corporate sponsors and endorsing them. You know, when Middlecoff had given us a check for 10 grand for the Scholarship Foundation, I just, without missing a beat, just said I would consider it a personal favor to me if the next time you're in the market to buy a car, you would call Greg Middlecoff before you call anybody else. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it takes, what did that take, 15 seconds?
Right.
It doesn't take any time at all. And they love that kind of recognition.
Sure.
Absolutely. Just so you have that.
Okay, thank you.
And I keep harping on that, but it is so key. One year at Festival of the Trees, I remember Middlecoff got so upset because he had bid a great deal of money on some item, and I forget what the item even was, and the auctioneer said, "Thank you, number 237.
Oh, ouch.
And it left a horrible taste in his mouth.
Yeah.
So we got to make sure that we take care of the people that take care of us.
Right. Was Dick Foster involved with you directly in any of your events?
No, Dick and I, a couple of years ago, were trying to get a dinner theater thing together, and it just never materialized.
Okay.
Dick was getting it together. He wanted me to star in it.
And why not? Okay. So,
Dave,
yes.
I have 10:40, that means we have 20 minutes left. How
Yes.
many more things are on our agenda?
Actually, we have two more items, so we should move on. We can come back to visit some of this here.